Alrighty, y'all. We're live on YouTube, waiting for TikTok to come in. Today, I feel like we're going to backtest probably at the end because we just have so much time to kill. But I do want to just talk about how the strategy we have been backtesting has been working. The strategy that we have been backtesting has been working. It's been going dumb. And I want to talk about like what you need to be a profitable trader. Like all the things you need, all the things. Sorry, TikTok, I'm just waiting for, no one's in here. YouTube to show me, make sure YouTube is working properly. Okay, now it should be working properly. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we're good. All right. Oh, TikTok. So yeah, let's talk about, this is all you need to be a profitable trader. We're going to talk about ICT concepts. If you have any questions, ask me and we'll go into them, but we'll backtest at the end if we have time or if we still want to, but I feel like we should just talk about, since we've been backtested and see the strategy works, let's just talk about how to execute it. So today I did our strategy where we start on the 15-minute, we wait for a liquidity sweep. Let's see where the 9:30 candle was in here. So I marked out this liquidity on this blue candle for sell side. I marked out this one for internal liquidity, and it wicked down for a little bit. That's what faked you out to go down, even though I made my money, and then it went our way. And then I had London obviously marked, and I had Asia marked, and it went to both, but I sold early, and I'm gonna tell you why. And then, yeah, so liquidity is just swing highs and swing lows. Major liquidity are, let me type it out. I'm gonna try to be like how, the gurus type shit out. Major liquidity is always session highs and lows equal highs and lows, and then daily highs and lows. Now you can do weekly, I don't do those. These are the only liquidity points you really need, okay? So I did, for the strategy, for the 15-minute strategy, if you've been watching my lives, obviously most of y'all haven't because I just started like 5 days ago. You want internal because you're going to enter on the 1 minute. You're not waiting for a major liquidity sweep. Your target is a major liquidity sweep. I always get on the chart and I mark out buy side and sell side because I don't go in with the bias of where it's going. I like to see where it's going. Since we're already in a downtrend, you have to go on a higher time frame. Like if we're already at the lowest point on your screen, you need to go to a higher time frame and find some liquidity points to target. We already swept this one. The next one was here. So I had a feeling, and then once I did this, I think before this 9:30 candle, we already had this big wick. So I was kind of confident we were going up already. Now once I got on the 15-minute chart, I saw the liquidity sweep, and then I think I waited. Yeah, I waited until it got like up a little bit. Like I said, you didn't wait for this whole candle to close. You see how much the candle closed? You wait for it to just reject, and then you go on the 1 minute. And even some people wait just till it taps it. As soon as it taps it, go on the 1 minute, and then wait for a market structure shift to play out. Like it can hit it for some people. They go on the 1 minute, it can still trade down and then reverse, but I don't. I like to go on the 1 minute once I see it move back up on the candle. What I didn't notice for if I was trading, so I'm doing my fundeds, and on fundeds you have to have a consistency rule. You can't make more than half your account. So my goal was just to make between $1,200 and $1,500, to not go above $1,500. So I didn't even need that. But if I was trading my live account, I would have let it run to these next two targets after realizing we got what? We have S&T divergence, which is one of the bonuses. S&T is when ES did not sweep. Actually, did it sweep? No, it might have swept, but it didn't sweep as low as the NQ one did. So technically, this could technically be like a SMT, like a slightly higher one, versus this one was slightly lower, so that's a strong push to the upside. Once I went to the 1 minute, what did we have? We had an obvious candle. Look at that, a beautiful wick. So I could have got it on the second one, but I waited for this candle to close above this inversion for value gap to invert it, and that's where I got in my trade. And that gave me, and I had a stop loss below this one because that wick was so strong, and that gave me 1 to 2.5, which is really all I need. I think I sold here though for 1,200 because this might have got me to like 500, like over the 1,500 threshold. See, and this is why I don't look at inversion for value gaps in the 1 minute. A lot of people do trade them, and I traded it technically here. However, this could have been strong signs for us going lower because we were overall bearish. But on that 4 hour, we saw how we already wicked up from the 4 hour. We wicked up from the 4 hour. Also, some people who trade breakers, this technically the liquidity sweep came back into a breaker for a better entry. I want to add those a little bit, but it's not really my thing. I just wait for a liquidity sweep, a strong one at 9:30, and then we go up from there. And yeah, 1 to 2.5. This could have faked you out because this was a long wick on the 15 minute. But again, with the SMT strong, we're going up. We're going up. This wick is kind of crazy, but we're going up. And then what else? That 4 hour. That's not what I wanted to do on this one. That 4 hour wick really was telling that we were going up. And that was at 10 o'clock. This one came back down. This is the one I think that was us in the 9:30 open. So yeah, that's just how you trade imbalances, and it works over and over again. Even like, so last night on my live, we talked about like where NVIDIA would go. And where do we think NVIDIA was gonna go? To 93. Why do we think NVIDIA was going to 93? Let me show you. It was tied up with the imbalance and a liquidity point on the daily. I hate when these charts just be doing stuff. So yeah, we marked this last night. I forgot to clear it. We had this big fair value gap. Last night we were at, when I was on the live, we were somewhere up here. I had this fair value gap. Yeah, we were like up here somewhere. I had this fair value gap marked because I have a fair value gap indicator. So this big one I drew. And then I say at least the middle of the fair value gap, but the next point in liquidity right below that fair value gap is right here at the 93 mark. So we knew it was going to 93, and it can keep dumping all the way to 75. I think it might go, if sweepless liquidity, go up a little bit and then go to 75 by the end of the year. That's what I think. So I don't really trade stocks anymore. I just trade indices. So that is above me now. However, ICT concepts work to guess where the market is going to go. And I feel like it happens time and time again. Oh, and the daily. Maybe I looked at the daily today. Maybe I did, because this wick was strong too. Like, we're going up today. Look at this. I mean, the wick wasn't this big. This is obviously the end of the day. After the trade I took, it took us halfway up here, obviously. But you see how the wick is showing you that we're going in a different direction. So you don't want to wait, unless you swing trade. You don't want to wait for this whole candle to play out, because that was all day today. I got a quick trade. I think my trade lasted literally 5 minutes. And yeah, that's ICT concepts. So if y'all have any questions or not, we can go back to backtesting and continuing on this strategy. But I think the strategy is working. I thought about starting live trading, but I don't trade all day like a lot of these people do. I trade for literally, like today was 5 minutes and I'm done. I trade the morning session, so sometimes I'm on the morning session for a while. No, I don't want I just want my drawings to be gone, not my indicators. Imbalances and swing high, swing low, and that's why I have this indicator. Oh, let's talk about this indicator too. So the indicators I use, fair value gap by Nephew Sam. Let's turn all the rest off. Fair value gap by Nephew Sam shows me my fair value gap. Now, this might be an unnecessary indicator for y'all. For me, it is not. It's so easy to see, and there's so many small, tiny ones, like this little red one. Like, there's so many fair value gaps that are made that why do I want to make my eyes work harder to get to see them? I'm not doing that. And then you can easily see an inversion here. Boom. You would have got in here on the 15-minute, take it down to this liquidity. Boom. Good trade. We candle close above this. You know, like you can see, especially on like the 5-minute and the 1-minute in different time frames, like lower. They're just there. And then you don't even have to you don't have to keep these on here. You can just have them, have the indicator, get on and say, this is my favorite fair value gap. I want to wait till it taps into this, turn it green, and then you could turn the indicator off yourself and be like, I'm not getting in a trade till it comes into here. Or whatever you want to do, you can do that. But you don't have to leave it on there. But you don't have to manually look and see how many fair value gaps are in this movement. I will always love that indicator. Second indicator is the ICT everything. No, this is the ICT sessions. Okay, this is my baby. This is how I draw my liquidity points. You see, matches up with London highs, London lows. Because, I mean, you can take a trade to liquidity, as you saw I did. I took my trade just to this liquidity. I didn't even get to London or Asian high. But if you want to hold your trade longer, you would. I've taken trades to London and Asian highs many times before. I've done it many times. But since I'm kind of full porting-ish my funded accounts to get 12, 14, 1,500 a day to get funded in a day or two and get a bunch of funding that I have to follow the consistency rules of the futures prop firms. But if not, I would have rode this to what? If this was $1,200, then this is probably $2,400, and this is probably almost $4,000 after only risking what, $200? Yeah, it's almost a 1,000% return. Easy, great money. I mean, it would have took till I got in at 9:30. It's been a 3-hour trade, which still isn't that bad. Any trade longer than 3 hours to me, I'm but it is what it is. But yeah, that'd been a beautiful trade if I could have held it and made a bunch of money. So yeah, and if that would have kept going lower, we just had other targets to target on the lower side. We also have a gap here we needed to fill. I had marked that this morning as well. So I thought we would actually go into the gap today. But I wouldn't have held that long. Or I would have held and then lost some money and sold at the bottom of this candle, this white candle. But yeah, that is how you trade, y'all. Imbalances, session highs, session lows. This shows you also PM and New York lunch and all these things. Those are also important liquidities as well. They're their own sessions. So tomorrow we might come down, sweep PM, and then go higher or something like that, and not go all the way down to any other one. That's one of those indicators that I feel like is really good. Then my last one I use that I don't really be paying attention to for real, is the ICT everything. This is the one that a lot of people preach. I use it now because I made my session open 8:30, and I used to trade at 8:30, so I like to see the 8:30 candle where it is. And then it shows you the midnight open and the 8:30 open, obviously. But I feel like midnight open is only necessary if you trade the London session, overnight at midnight or 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. For us, it doesn't matter. Yes, it helps. You want it to basically, if you want a green day, which technically that happened, you want it to be below midnight and then go above it higher. But look at this move. My move was in and out before we even got back up to midnight. I mean, maybe you could have held and your final profit target could have been midnight. So there's different ways you can trade this, but it's not as necessary. But I do like to leave it on the screen for the days for the 8:30 open, and I don't know, it's just on there. I actually don't really use it. I really just use the fair value gap and the sessions. I just trade liquidity and imbalances. That is literally all I trade. All right, let's take off the drawings, and then add back my indicators. I know it looks crazy to some people, but to me it looks great. And then let's go back to backtesting. Yesterday we talked a lot about just in general, like trading, stocks, options, forex, what people could trade. This is the end. Oh yeah, we charted this yesterday. So we go to the next New York session, and this is how I trade. This is how we trade every morning. This is how I traded literally this morning. Start on the 15-minute chart. That is going to help you. It helped me be profitable because I'm so impatient that I would trade a movement before a liquidity sweep and then get stopped out or reverse on me, or it'd be a small little scalp. Like, I wait now for a good liquidity sweep on the 15-minute and then get in on the 1 minute at a market structure shift. And that has been a game changer. Not the hour, the 15-minute. So what we would mark, this is already like our 9:30-ish candle. So this one we would mark, we want one of these sides to be swept. And ICT says that. He said you can trade without a bias. You just wait for the 9:30 candle, or between 9:30 and 11, for one of these to be swept. And even this being a big move like this, because again, this is a higher time frame. So this is probably a swing high on the 5-minute or the 1 minute. So we just need a rejection. We need to come up, reject heavily with a wick just like this. That's what we want. We're in a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. So once we close, they're not going to do that. Once we close below or above, we have a direction. We already kind of closed below. We came back up into it from this. Our overall target is definitely going to be that low right there. We're already kind of going lower. We swept equal lows. We do have a long wick, like we want to go higher though. Our upside profit target is going to be this swing high, and they're going to be this swing high, which is London session high. That's a session high right there. Then, do we have any S&T on a 15-minute? I kind of can't really tell. 15-minute and 15-minute, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... Alright, let's play out. Okay, see that wick we got? You're not going to wait for the 15-minute to close. You would have got on the chart, once we saw a good rejection, down to the 1 minute. Down to the 1 minute. Where was that 9:30? Here. The 9:30 candle was here. And then we came down. You could have gotten in at this candle close here. You could have gotten in at this second candle. I probably would have gotten... I would have gotten early here. Take it to here. For a good risk to reward, like today, a short. That's why I love that 1 minute. It's so short. Or you can technically wait for this swing low to be broken and gotten in here with that candle closed, and then we might have to find one more liquidity point to take it to, or you would just do like a 1 to 2 or 1 to, let's see if it goes that far, but if not, it's definitely probably gonna go to this one. Let's see. Oh, stopped out. Stopped out. So we would have lost this trade, but if we break above, you could get back in. So you can get back in this one. As soon as that candle closed above this swing high, this is why with good risk management, you can take both of these trades. And this trade will all make up your losses and then some. Swing low, we have a swing low target to target. And then let's play it out. And we would have, boom. So this, that was not long, yeah. 10 o'clock to 11 a.m. hour-long trades. So yeah, you would have made your losses back and then some on this trade. And getting in late on this trade would cost you kind of a big-ish loss versus getting in right here. Would have been a better small loss compared to this gain. And honestly, I just would take it here, but will it keep going to the next one? I don't know. You could do once it hits this trailing stop. Do you think Bitcoin will go back up? Yes, Bitcoin will go back up. I think we have one more bull run, but I don't like crypto at all. And or you get in, you get out very fast. So with crypto, it's every 4 years. So the next bull run will be 2023. No, 2023, 2024. So 2027, we should all be buying crypto again for it to go up in 2028. And that will be the last crypto bull run I play. I played the first one. I didn't get to play this one because I didn't sell my house in time to play this last one. But I will play the 2028 one. But yeah, I don't think crypto is as prominent as people say it is, because it's not. The government is not gonna let us have a decentralized fucking bank and money source. We have to be serious. But it's a great way to make money. I've made a lot of money on crypto before as well, but I don't hold it and trade it and put money into it year round. Okay, next day, back on the 15-minute chart. This is how you do it every morning. Okay, days like this where it's clearly going up, you honestly just need to mark sell side. Your take profits are gonna be 1, 2. I mean, this one's already so close. So it's looking like a strong update. Aiming at this long wick from news. Long wick from 8:30 news. So we're pretty much going up. You can wait for it to sweep this and see if it wants to reverse and take out sell side. Since we're so close, you could wait for that. But we're gonna mark this for it to come down and sweep it and go higher, and then we're gonna mark this one. So that's what you do. You just wait for a strong movement to and from on the 15-minute chart. See, oof, yeah, that one's going higher and higher and higher. So now we're gonna go to the 1 minute, see if we can get an entry somewhere. I mean, there was a fair value gap. It might come back down and then tap this. I don't really like, and it's funny, I used to swear by fair value gaps. I mean, we already came back and tapped into this one, on this candle. See how it wicked down? So maybe you could have got in somewhere like down here. Take it to the bottom of this gap. Let's see if we can take it all the way up here. It could reverse at any one of these. This is a day where you just always be ready to exit, go in real confident and be okay with the loss. Or, again, we lose and we play the reverse. Like that. That's why I don't like getting in when it's close to a liquidity point already, because this is a point where it could sweep and reverse. Let's see how this plays out, though. Because it could still go our way. And it did. It did not stop us out. Almost to the tick. To the fucking tick. So technically, because like I said, I'm always a little impatient. This is a fair value gap, and we're on the 1 minute. We're not on the 5 minute. I've said on the 5 minute, we'll get a market structure shift, and it will go. It will not come back in the fair value gap. However, on the 1 minute, it tends to go back into every fair value gap. So you could have waited for it to happen to that fair value gap, had your stop loss below this candle, and then took it all the way to glory. Oof. I probably would have sold once we got here, which is still a 1 to 3. So even if you go here, which is a 1 to 2, yeah, you could just sold to the next liquidity. Waited for it to come back. Waited for it to come back into this fair value gap. What's happening? My computer is so annoying lately. Wait for it to come into this green fair value gap. Boom. Take it to next liquidity. You're out. That could be your trade right there. Tight stop loss. And you can then put a trailing stop and let it ride. And then you probably got stopped out like on this candle here. That's a good trade. But that's it. Because sometimes it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to sweep liquidity, but you're waiting on the 15 minute for the move. You're not just getting in. Like once we saw this big body, we would have went on the 1 minute, see, boom, tap into this fair value gap. That's the candle that tap us in and then take it to the moon. That's it. It's like bread and butter. It's literally like bread and butter. You can trade this every day. And it's just, yeah. And I learned this from ICT's 2022 mentorship and then TJR's boot camp. I watched TJR's boot camp first and then made ICT a little easier for me. However, TJR's boot camp is one of those things where he's young and he caters to young boys. So in the boot camp, you have to fast forward. I wouldn't say a lot, but I had to fast forward when he's like spazzing and doing weird shit. And then after he, like blew up from that boot camp, it was like I had to block him. Like he was getting obnoxious. They were asking him to say the N word. Like it just, now listen, I have plenty of friends who are like, I'm gonna get my money and learn whatever, and I get that. But after a while, ICT is all you need, and he doesn't do all that shit. He's a little arrogant, but he's not out here yelling racial slurs and talking about like just random teenage boy shit. And I'm old, and I'm not that old. I'm 31 and I'm a woman. I don't want to hear that. But he does get to the point very easily, like liquidity sweep, market structure, da da da. Versus ICT will kind of like talk, and he'll build a story and he'll build an analysis. Okay, so we already have S&T divergence. NQ's going higher. NQ made a higher high. ES made a lower low. So at this point, we have a fair value gap. We're about to have a market structure shift, or we already have a market structure shift on the 15-minute. So you want it to come down to here and go up. That's what you want. Will it? We shall see. Profit target. It's a lot of imbalance in here, and it doesn't have to go take off this liquidity, but we do have equal highs up here. We do have equal highs and relative. This one's just almost as high, so that's really like a strong movement to go back up. Oh yeah, we already imbalanced and took out this liquidity, so I think we could go back up. Let's let this play out. But sometimes I'm like, it can reverse from like a fair value gap like this. So again, when we get in the 1 minute, we'll see where our 1 to 2, 1 to 3 is. Okay, play. Okay, we're gonna wick like we're going down. It's kind of trading in between. Let's wait a little longer. Okay, that's still a red candle though. But let's see what it looks like in the 1 minute. Okay, we got tap, up, tap, up. Equal highs though. Our profit is pretty high. We honestly can wait for it to inverse this and take it for a small gain here too. Let's just wait. I'm not really sure about this at all. See. It's giving liquidity sweep on one of these and how it wants to go down. Let's see if we close below this low and inverse this fair value gap. And we didn't even mark out any sell side. We just got overconfident and was like, it's going up. What's it look like on the 15-minute? It's giving you, we're trading sideways on the 15-minute. But we did tap into this fair value gap to push. So maybe that's the real push. Maybe that's the real push now. One more candle. I'm not liking any of this, honestly. Let's just watch how this plays out for the day. See, it's like, this is just trading sideways. Got almost a candle close, not quite. Not quite again. There we got a candle close. I like that better. And a strong candle close below. I'll get in here. Even though I don't trade past 12 o'clock. Okay, yeah, this is only 10:50. 1 to 1.6. I mean, that's not that great either. Is there another liquidity point we can target? Yes. This bad boy here. For a nice 1 to 2. Let's see. Now we could get stopped out here. It could be a day where like, we shouldn't. We do have a up. And then it's gone down a little bit here on ES on the 15-minute. So it looks very confident, like going down. Let's look at the 15 minute on NQ. Yeah, strong displacement, broke below that fair value gap. Yeah, let's see what's happening. And we lost. See, this is one of those days where I already said that it was trading sideways. I would have just not traded today. Because it's still trading sideways. It hasn't gone to any target. It's trading in a range. And you know what? That is okay. That's a day for the scalpers. That is not the day for us beginners. Scalpers, now if you do scalp, the scalping strategy is this. You have a range. I would say, I don't even know what this range is technically. Probably something like that. Then, where is, they usually let you put a line in the middle of your fair value gap on TradingView. Okay, you usually get to put a line in it, but we can just do a line in the middle. Obviously it won't be accurate, but you could you can hit sells above this line, and then you can hit buys below the line. And you can do it when it's really close to the edge like these. So you could have gotten a sell here and then sold it and then bought again and then, got out the trade here, go lower. That is how you scalp. I don't do that, but I've done it before a long time ago. But I don't really do that. It's just like I'm trying to not trade and catch like these bigger moves. And even on the 15 minute, it probably looks crazy. And that's probably why we should stay on the 15 minute. Because then you'd be like, oh, this looks crazy. Yeah, we would have been like, I don't know what this is. Especially two bodies like that usually kind of makes go down. Or you could have gotten out this candle and then we would have sold it for a little scalp here. Like the only scalping I really do is if I'm like confident in a position and then I have to like have a trailing stop. Like this one, when it went down and reversed on us, I would have probably had a break-even trade or like a trailing stop or something. But I don't really scalp anymore. But you can do this. Scalping, I feel like a lot of gurus do though, because once you have $1 million to trade with, you don't even care about catching these 1 to 3 liquidity sweep breaker structure. I mean, some people still do, obviously, and I know some forex traders like still catch like 1 to 15 moves and stuff. But a lot of people, once they start making a bunch of money, they can risk $5,000 because they have $1 million. $5,000 is nothing. And then if you risk $5,000 here to go down here, that's probably like a $20,000 trade, and then you're done. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get why people scalp. Trailing stops are for quitters. I agree, but then there are days where the trailing stop comes in. There are days where I use a trailing stop and I'm pissed that I did. But there's other days where you didn't lose, so it doesn't hurt. And I feel like a lot of non-ICT traders trade trailing stops. A lot of ICT traders don't, because we know that it will retrace into a fair value gap, go lower, retrace into a fair value gap, and go lower. So if you trail, the retracements are going to stop you out. Can you explain backtesting? Yes. Okay, so backtesting is something I actually just started because I used to be very anti-backtesting. Because when I started trading in 2020, backtesting was just going back on the charts and like looking at your idea basically. Like I can go back on this chart and see like New York swept London session highs and went low. And how many times did it do that? It did it again. We swept liquidity on the high side, went lower. And you just keep doing this and you just see like your strategy works often. Fair value gaps are respected often. That's how I was taught to backtest in 2020. However, this is useless. However, FX replay is the best. As you see from this live, we've just been marking stuff and then hitting play and letting it see how it goes. And you can go back to it every time. Another thing about TradingView, I pay for one of the premiums, but not the highest one. If you go back more than like 6 months on TradingView, all the candles are not going to show. It's going to be big gaps in your chart, and it's going to look literally crazy. So on FX replay, I went back when I started this backtesting journey. We were on January 1st, 2023. We're March, and you see how the candles just look so good. So backtesting is how you test a strategy. So say now we're testing like ICT, but say tomorrow or even like tomorrow with you guys, I want to test trend lines. I can just get on here and practice using trend lines only without using real money in the charts and not wasting money in the charts. You see what I'm saying? So I can like go to the next day and see, and you can do this for like 30 days really fast. You see I have mine sped up, so you see how we can play things super fast, and you can be like, I don't trade trend lines, but I see how they can work for people, so we'll do like this, and we'll say we'll wait till it breaks above this trend line or touches it and keeps going, and then you play, and then you're like, oh, now we get in a trade, take it to the top, or however trend line people trade, and then you can see how your strategy works. And look, that worked. I don't know where the stop loss probably been down here, but you see you can trade, you can test strategies with back testing before you actually use real money. I'm not using real money, and you actually can execute trades and see how much you would make. I just don't like doing that on this feature because I'm a girl who, if it trades sideways, I'll just get out of trade. It doesn't have to hit my take profit nor my stop loss. However, if you do, when it has to hit your stop loss or take profit for you to go on to the next like actual order field. You can actually like place an order like this and put your money and see how much money you would make. But yeah, it's just practice and like playing it like a game. That's all it is. And you can test so many strategies and see which one you like best. And you can do this for hours and be like, oh, I like ICT, but when I back tested trend lines, I realized trend lines work better for me than ICT. And you know what? If that's good for you, that's good for you. And then a lot of people do trade trend lines, break your retest. I don't know, stop loss. As an ICT trader, I feel like my stop loss is like a swing high or swing low. But yeah, you can just back test different. See, we lost because, yeah. But yeah, there's just different strategies you can test with back testing. What else do I want to do today? I feel like we've tested the strategy, so I like the 15-minute one, and that's how I'm going to be trading. But maybe tomorrow we will test. I've seen strategies on YouTube where they start on the 1 hour. They start on the 1 hour and they wait for liquidity sweep on the hour candle. They let the full 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle form, and then they wait for a liquidity sweep on one side or the other. Okay, this has to play out? Yeah, it has to play out for a second. Okay, so basically they mark the buy side and the sell side of the 9 a.m. candle, and then they wait for a 10 a.m. liquidity sweep reversal, which is basically the ICT silver bullet. When I was trading the silver bullet, though, it was not working like this. It was very much a continuation play, but the markets just they switch what they want to do, honestly, because now it kind of does reverse at 10, or it reverses from like 9:45ish to 10 o'clock. So then you would wait for a market structure shift back to the downside to the opposing liquidity. I mean, this is technically an inversion, but we didn't close below it yet. And then you get in a trade and you take it to the other liquidity point. And they say you can get funded doing just that. Boom. That is how some people say they got funded. So there's just different ICT strategies you can trade. The goal is to stick to one and don't trade when you don't see it happen. That is my problem. My problem is I'll try to trade everything I see, even though I trade ICT, but now I'm like, wait on the 15-minute chart, wait for a reaction. This 1 hour did work today, so let's see if it'll work. On the next day, let's just keep back testing. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, people usually have been just rambling in the comments, and we go on these side quests. Also, another important thing, I see a lot of people on live and on TikTok, and this is more for options traders, but they do a lot of overnight analysis, and I do not, because I feel like every time I was trying to do overnight analysis, I would go on the chart in the morning, and everything I wanted to happen in London and Asian session. So it's no point of doing an analysis until you get on the charts that same morning. Okay, 1 hour. Let the 930 play out. Ooh. Okay. So basically, I don't think it's going to happen today, but you want to wait for a liquidity sweep on one of the sides of the 9 a.m. candle. And then when I was doing the ICT Silver Bullet, I was doing the Casper SMC one where I just wait for a fair value gap, and the first fair value gap made in the hour and trade it in that direction. That's what I was doing. And I feel like that worked better than waiting for this, but okay, so now you want to go on the 1 minute. We swept the buy side. And then let's see if we get a market structure shift. Which I don't even know technically where the market structure shift would be. We do have an inverted for value gap. And I feel like you can enter off those right after liquidity sweep on the 1 minute. Anything after that, I'm like, okay, yeah. Then you would get in, I get on this one, and take it to the other liquidity, even though this is a long candle, so I don't know. I wouldn't take it to the other side. I would take it for, like I said, 1 to 3 or 1 to, let's just do 1 to 2.7. It might go over to the other side. I mean, it went pretty far. So you can even just trade like this. Some people trade this, see it's reversing on you at this point. But I mean, that's still what, a 1 to almost 4. 1 to 4. If you caught at the bottom, 1 to 5. But there's no liquidity point to target in here, but this one, so you would have been annoyed. But yeah, you can just trade that. You can just trade any strategy. What time is midnight open on Eastern? It's midnight on Eastern. Literally midnight. Like midnight open is 12 a.m. Eastern. So, yes. Which is crazy because ICT traders are like daily highs, daily lows, and they look at the daily chart. But I'm like, those aren't even daily high lows for ICT traders, so I don't understand how you can mark that as a higher low. Half the time I try to mark a daily higher low, I get on the 5 or the 15 minute and we already swept both of those. So it's like, I use the daily chart, like I said, for like the next liquidity point if we've been running down for a long time. But yeah, midnight open is just midnight Eastern time. That's it. Someone said, what time are you going live? I'm literally already on live. Whoever that is on Twitter. I mean, I guess TikTok, y'all can see my business. And all my tabs.
In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these fish.
SVU, because I have nothing to watch. I'm on live now on TikTok and YouTube. YouTube, you don't get to see the goods because you're OBS. Okay. So yeah, let's do this one more time. Let's just see how this. I just feel like this strategy works on certain markets, like sideways markets, but I don't know. It's kind of been working. Like, should we all just be trading like this? Because you want something easy where, like, especially in the beginning, as a beginner, that you can just do, and if it doesn't happen, you don't do it. You don't want to confuse yourself and have something where you're trying to get in, and that's why I'm trying to get really better at just watching higher time frames. That's it. Like my strategy, watching the 15 minute. We tested for 3 days in a row, and it's been working really well. We'll go back to that maybe tomorrow. I can't go lower than 1 minute. I don't have like the set options to trade on the second charts. Okay. See, it's already doing it. This strategy, I don't know. It kind of eats. It kind of eats. And then you can sleep in and not get on at 9:30. You can get on at 9:45, 9:50. You wait for buy side to be swept on the 10 minute, on the 1 hour candle, the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle, and then take it from here to here. Look at that. Beautiful. And it was like, I think it was T-Trades. T-Trades on YouTube who has a strategy. And T-Trades on YouTube is so good, actually. I forgot. If you don't want to watch ICT or TJR, T-Trades has that sauce. He literally tells you, let's just go. I like to give YouTube people their props because you do not need a mentor. I'm so adamant about that. Now, I'm not going to tell you, if you think you really want a mentor for one-on-one coaching, that is great. Yes. I'm never going to knock someone for wanting a mentor. Justin is dope too. I personally, when I watch Justin's charts though, I don't know what's going on for some reason, and we trade the same. I like Justin's black and white chart. Psychology is good. His crazy trading style. Yeah, Justin does a lot of analysis, and he does a lot of higher time frame waiting for me. But I do love him, and he's one of those traders who's young and not embarrassing like TJR. No shade, because I do love TJR. I love young people who get rich and flex and have a lot of money, but like I don't want you making like monkey sounds and like masturbation sounds while you're teaching me how to trade. This is T Trades, dope. Has all the things you need. He teaches it so good. And since someone dropped Justin, let's do Justin. Justin's dope too, and he live trades sometimes. And you can live trade with him, and he's really non-scammy. Casper SMC is very non-scammy. But yeah, you can learn so much. And my thing is watch an overall ICT bootcamp. Like I always say, I will never not give the GOAT his props. ICT Mentorship 2022. Y'all should go watch this right now first. And then when you have questions, you go to T Trades and Justin and say, what is S&T? What is daily bias? What is, like, certain things you have questions with, then you go to those other people, is what I feel like you should do. And or, I think Garland Trades is a good one too. Garland Trades is a good one for easy strategies for beginners like this. Let's go. I'm going to do one more actually, because now I'm like, dang, I might trade this tomorrow. I don't know. Next New York session, hourly chart, and I have both ES and NQ for S&T divergence on higher time frames. I'm trying to look at it more. I try to. Even today I missed it, but I was already in my buys. But the S&T would have made me hold my trade a lot longer if I wasn't at my max limit for my funded. Okay, we're gonna let this play out. And it's a good thing about backtesting. You can backtest like 50 days in like an hour. Okay. So now we have buy side liquidity of the 9 a.m. candle, and you want to wait for one side to be swept and then go on the 1 minute. Okay. Now there are some days it's going to keep running. But let's, yeah, that was the day this strategy would not work. You would have just, or, I don't know. Hold on. It's wicking back down. And we have a big fair value gap to inverse. And we just closed below it with the wick though, which is a little scary. But you know what? YOLO. We're going to take it down to the other side. And we got stopped out. So yeah, that was the day. Just would have kept going higher. But were you trading SPY? No, I trade the NASDAQ, which is QQQ for stocks. But I trade futures now. So with futures, it's NQ, but ES is SPY. So yes. So if you trade options, and a lot of the options girls, on Twitter we talk about this, you should be watching these futures charts even when you trade options or stocks. So if you're trading SPY or QQQ, you need to be watching these futures charts. Don't look at the SPY chart. Don't look at the fucking, because the swing highs and swing lows are so much better on the futures chart. They're so clean. Like you'll be on like a SPY chart, and this would be like one like big thick, like all the candles with no wicks just closed next to each other. So you should always be watching NQ futures, ES futures, even if you're trading SPY or QQQ. Yeah, that's what I'm trading. No SPY. I used to trade SPY options though. That's how I started. I do miss options too sometimes. I really do. But then I did the math. I can't find it in Robinhood. Robinhood did just get futures. They just got them, so I haven't tested it out yet. I would get this, go on TradingView, get TradingView app, which is this app, and then because Robinhood charts suck, girl. You need to get TradingView. It's free. I pay for it to get like more indicators, but you should get on TradingView. You can make an account or not. I didn't make an account for like years. You just get on TradingView, even type in SPY if you want, and it's going to be way better chart, and you can draw these lines, you can draw these, and you can use these indicators, you can do all this on your SPY chart. So you should get this instead of use Robinhood. You should only execute on your phone on Robinhood. But they do have futures now. I don't know what they're called yet on Robinhood. Maybe I can look, let me see. I don't even trade on this browser, so let's see. Futures on Robinhood. Maybe I don't know what it even looks like. Maybe someone talks about it on YouTube. I just can't find futures. I guess I have a trading view for charting, but you can't find futures on trading view. You just type in MNQ. Oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Futures is the one annoying thing where you have to pay for data. That's why you have to buy futures data, girl. I'm so sorry. If not, you're going to get a 10-minute lag. I did forget to tell you that. And that was the annoying thing about futures, because I was like, dang, with Forex I have to buy this, with futures I have to buy this. So you have to go to, why is my trading view in German? I don't understand. I literally don't understand. And I have a VPN, because I live in Mexico now, so I don't
understand. These vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victim.
Also, Hulu is the worst streaming service. It always plays. I don't know how to switch language. I know a little bit of German, but not that much. Maybe it's profile. I'll figure it out and I'll show you tomorrow. But basically, you have to buy futures data. Okay, good. So you have to buy it, and it's like $10 a month or $6 a month. And then you just have to buy data to get it in real time. Because if not, there's going to be a lag. And you don't want that. And I had to upgrade on Trinity. Yeah, you have to upgrade. Oh, yeah, they make you buy the data and upgrade to the next one. That's why I have an upgraded trading view. That's exactly why. I also always forget how to get back on the chart once I go to TradingView Home. It always takes me like 5 seconds to get back on the chart. There we go. Yeah. So basically, yeah, futures is the only thing you have to buy the data for it. Or it's going to be a lag and it's going to look crazy. But it's worth it. And it's cheap. It's like $6, maybe $10 a month, depending on wherever it is. But yeah, imbalances and liquidity and practice and more time on the chart, and just that's really it, y'all. I feel like we're doing so much in so little time. I was planning on doing these. I mean, I'm still gonna do these lives every day, but I just feel like we're already tapped on strategies. I think we'll do that 1 hour one tomorrow. Like, keep testing the 1 hour candle, and honestly, I feel like this is one of those ones where even though someone just said in the chat trailing stops are for losers or whatever, and you would trailing stop this bad boy, you might not have got a lot of money, but I'll take some money over, especially with certain risk. This is probably still $100. Had VXY calls and watch list, and it went crazy today. Period. My friend, the person who put me on trading, also traded VIXY today, I think, and UVXY. That's what he traded today. But yeah, they have futures on Robinhood now and options. Like, that's so dope. So you can like probably flip flop between the two, which is really hard to do because usually you need different brokers for futures. I mean, I think Thinkorswim you can trade futures and options as well. Actually, you just need a lot more money to do so than, which is dumb because I put in more money than I needed for Thinkorswim in my NinjaTrader. However, NinjaTrader, I copy trade all my funded accounts. That's what I like. I copy trade all my funded accounts. Let's do one more day because we're already pushing an hour almost. You know, people have been live for like 3 hours. So I'm like, technically, I used the back test for 3 hours. Oh shit, that's why I'm not on the 1 hour chart. I'm like, hold on. Okay. I mean, but technically with this strategy, you don't even look at that. I only mark that liquidity point in case it wants to go all the way up there in reverse. But technically, you're just looking for it to come back down into this range for you to take it to the other side. And that would have been a day where you just didn't trade. And this is why I don't trade this strategy, because first of all, this is, okay, I think we're going to get reversal here. Okay, yeah. We're going to get a reversal here. See, that's why I trade. That's why I said, like, some of these strategies are, like, too simple. Where, like, okay, yes, technically you wouldn't have been trading after 11 o'clock. I think that you have to trade between 10 and 11 o'clock. But if you know we're running up, we have this huge gap. Liquidity is right here. It's far as fuck from the 9:30 open. You can wait. You can fucking wait. And then maybe it's through the bottom of this candle now. For a 1 to 2. Ooh. Nah. Nah. Oh. I don't know. See, I mean, I should have went to the 1 minute. Trading on the hourly is scary because it's like you're risking a lot of money. But I would have put my. Oh, see, it did work. Look at that. Look at that beauty. See what I'm saying? You could just trade like this if you want as well, and keep doing what you're doing. Now, with stocks and options, I mean, I traded the same way when I traded options. I traded ICT, so I feel like it's the same shit. And then just with options, I feel like you're more inclined to let it run because usually you're buying cheap options contracts to make a lot of money, so you can risk what you put in. But yeah, let's do one more day. I don't know, y'all. This strategy is going kind of crazy right now. And this is like March. We're already past the spring though. Let's let this 9 a.m. candle play out. Okay. Now we want a liquidity sweep of one side or the other. I'm not saying my live will end in 5 minutes, which I think is weird, because why? I made an event, that's why. Alright, this will be our last one. Waiting for liquidity sweep on one side or the other, and then we'll see if we can trade it to the other side. Okay. It's already coming back in a little bit. I mean, you should go to the 1 minute because the 1 hour is not fully done yet. So on the 1 minute, we need to wait for a candle close. We'll do above this high to be safe. We'll do a candle close above that high. Oh, see, gotta be quicker than that. Candle close, we would have got in. Candle close below this low and take it to the opposing liquidity. So yeah, you really could just trade this. You could just trade this and boom, every day. Don't let me test this tomorrow. This might be my strategy tomorrow. Yeah, thank y'all for coming to the live per usual. And we're doing this every day. So we're gonna keep back testing this strategy tomorrow. And then we'll go over my trade if I trade tomorrow, like I did this time. We'll start off with a recap and then we'll go into the back testing. And yeah, thank y'all.